My name is Angela and welcome back to Natural Health KE. In our last video, I talked about my journey of being diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017 and the recommended treatment. If you didn't watch that video, this is a continuation, so you probably need to go back. I'll put a link in the description box below. I want to talk about how I came to the decision to seek alternative treatment. So the doctor had ordered for me to do further tests, so off I went to do them. In the meantime, in the background, I had come across some information about alternative treatments. A year prior to my diagnosis, my sister had sent me a video called The Truth About Cancer, where a gentleman by the name Tyler Bollinger had gone on a quest to seek alternative treatments. His family had also been plagued by cancer, and he wanted to find out whether there was another method of treating cancer. In addition to that, I shared with a friend of mine my diagnosis, and he told me with such faith, "This shall not end in death." He proceeded to share with me about a friend of his who had been diagnosed several years prior with stage 3 cancer and had treated it using natural therapy, primarily nutrition. And I was so fascinated. So, with the video and with this gentleman's testimony, I met him and he shared what he did. And I just went on a flurry of research to understand further this method of treatment. I proceeded to do the tests that the doctor had ordered. One of the things that she wanted to find out was whether the cancer had spread to other parts of the body. She also wanted to stage the cancer and also wanted to find out the type of breast cancer that I had been diagnosed with. The number of tests can get quite tiring and also very expensive, but that is a topic for another day. Sometimes also you'd find you spend a lot of time just waiting for your turn at the medical center. So the day that I needed to do the CT scan, I told my sister, I could go by myself. I didn't want her spending her whole day there when there were many other things that she could be doing. So in the morning, I went to the medical center, and there they administered something called contrast dye. It's a solution that helps them identify abnormalities in the body. So I took the solution and waited my turn, which came later in the afternoon. So I lay down on the CT scan bed. They did the test, and when I tried to get up, I started feeling a bit queasy, a bit dizzy. So I mentioned this to the gentleman, and he said that's normal, it's to be expected. A few minutes later, I felt very, very nauseous and had to rush to the washroom to throw up. I didn't understand what was going on, so I mentioned it again to the clinicians there, and they said, no, don't worry, this is very normal. And by this time it was evening, and rush hour was round the corner. So I thought, let me get into the car and dash home as quickly as possible so that I don't get stuck in traffic. Lo and behold, 5 minutes out, I got stuck in a traffic jam. And a few moments later, I started to shiver and really shake very, very violently. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I couldn't continue driving. So I looked around me to see what was around me, where I could park the car, could I get off the side of the road. And I saw the Ministry of Health headquarters here in Nairobi, and the gate was just a few meters away. So as the traffic inched on, I drove into the driveway, and asked the guard at the gate if he would be so kind to allow me just to park my car so that I could call somebody to come and help me. He quickly opened the gate and directed me to the parking lot, and there I picked up my phone and tried to call my sister. My hands were shaking so violently, so it took me several, like moments even to figure out how to get into the phone book. I was terrified. I finally managed to call her, and she said she was on her way. She also called my neighbor to see whether he was nearer to me, and fortunately, he was just about 15 minutes away. So he was going to find his way to me and take me to the hospital where my sister would meet us. In the meantime, the guard, God bless him, he was so kind. He kept coming to check on me to see if I was okay. My neighbor and his friend finally arrived and rushed me to Nairobi Hospital, where I was taken to the emergency room. And there I explained to the doctor what had happened, and they quickly put me on a drip because by this time I was very dehydrated, as they proceeded to test what was wrong with me. Several hours later, my test results came back, and it was discovered that I had an allergy or an allergic reaction to the contrast dye for the CT scan. Reaction to the events of the CT scan was a deal breaker for me. I thought to myself, if this is how I'm reacting and this is just a test, what about the treatment? The doctor had recommended double mastectomy, chemotherapy. How would I react to that? I also was, the information from the documentary was at the top of my mind, and the information that I had from the other gentleman who had conquered cancer. I thought about this and I said, I'm going to take the decision to try alternative treatment. This is what the alternative treatment comprised of. I was going to change my diet drastically and also make lifestyle changes. It meant that I was going to take a lot of raw vegetable juice. I was going to eliminate processed and refined foods from my diet. I was going to eliminate sugar and include supplements. And the other thing I was going to do was start to exercise seriously and reduce stress levels. Any medical practitioners or other practitioners who knew how to do this, I just had the testimonies that I heard and the research that I had done. So I didn't want to do it blindly, and I thought I would ask my oncologist to be able to monitor me along the process, and I knew this was going to be an uphill task because essentially what I was saying is that I was not going to take her advice, but I was going to take alternative treatment. The pathology results that was testing the lump had come out, and the prognosis or the diagnosis was that I had HER2 positive breast cancer, which is a more aggressive form of breast cancer. Thank you for watching till the end. I shall continue to share my story in the next video. Kindly subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.